Hi there, this is Dara here from Nurture, and in this tutorial I'm going to talk you through the three different session types that are on Nurture Signal when you get started. Now I'm not going to go into each session type individually, I'm going to do those as follow-on videos, but in this video I'm just going to talk through what the difference is between them and when you might use them. So when you first log into Nurture Signal as a host, your screen will look something like this. Obviously, we don't have any sessions yet available. As I mentioned, there are three different session types. So if we are to create a session, we are asked what sort of session type would we like to create. So there's three session types. There is engage, there is live quiz, and there is assessment. Okay, there's a couple of important things about each one of these that makes them different. There's a lot of things that they do that are similar, and in the follow-on videos I'll talk through each one in a bit more depth. But to understand when you might use them and what they're essentially for, this is what they mean. So an engage session is a session that you would run in class when your students are with you, and in this you can run multiple different check-in types. You can check for engagement, you can get reactions, comments and reflections from students at any time. You can also do a lot of the same functionality that these two sessions do, such as live quiz and assessment. So you can also do check for understanding in an engage session. However, it's not the main focus of it. So with an engage session, essentially you're running various different check-in points with your students and they're reacting to them throughout. It's presented to you in one long timeline view, and you can see throughout the whole session how that has run. I'm going to cover that in more depth in the next video. A live quiz is also a session that you would run in class. However, this one is just focusing on checking for understanding. So what this does is you create a bunch of Hinge questions. So you might maybe create 2 or 3 Hinge questions throughout a lesson. And then throughout that lesson, you'll release those questions to the students. On their screen, they're going to get that question, and that Hinge question is typically going to be a multiple choice question, because with Hinge questions, that's what they are. They include distractors, so answers that maybe look like the right answer, but it tells you something about the student's thinking. For more information about Hinge questions, you should check out course 3 on Nurture Learn. But essentially you're checking to see if your students understand the content of your lesson, and then what Nurture Signal does is with the students' answers we're able to give you advice on whether to reteach, recap, or you can move on if the understanding is good. But this session, just like the engage session, is something you would run live in class with your students. Okay. The final session type then is assessment. Now this is something that you can create and send it to your students, and they can complete this in their own time. You could technically run this in class with them if you want. However, this is something that typically you would assign a quiz for homework, for instance, and it works the same as a live quiz. The only difference is with the assessment is that the students get all of the questions together and they work through them at their own, in their own time. With the live quiz, you release the questions one by one at points throughout a lesson. Okay. So live quiz and assessment kind of work the same way. The only difference is one of them is built to be done in class and you release the questions, and the other one is built to run outside of class and students complete them in their own time. Okay. With that, those are the three session types in Nurture. In the next videos, I'm going to go into each one in a bit more depth and talk through the various different settings that there are with each of these and how you set them up, because there is different nuances to them. So check out the video on each of those next, and after that I'll actually go through some specific examples of how you can run these different sessions for different subject types. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and I'll see you in the next tutorial video.